Hi everyone, I'm Dan, and welcome back to the Rock Nerd Radio Show here on YouTube. I'm currently waiting for the Marvel Legends Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave, that current X-Men wave. I'm waiting for that to arrive from Amazon, and while we're waiting, and since I haven't really picked up a ton of new stuff yet this year, I decided to kind of do a little bit of a rewind today. We're going to take a look at an older toy, a very old toy as a matter of fact. Today we are going to look at the Tower of Doom playset, which was featured in the original Secret Wars toy line. This has always been one of my favorite playsets, and I figured it would be fun today to take a look at it and share some thoughts. Come geek out with us on the Rock Nerd Radio Show. So like I said, today we're taking a look at the Secret Wars Tower of Doom. And this isn't just like a tower that instills fear, it is named after Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom, aside from being one of the most important figures in the original Secret Wars comic storyline, was essentially like the bad guy for the Secret Wars toy line. He had his own vehicles named after him. There was a Doom Cycle, a Doom Copter, a Doom Roller. So there were a lot of things named after Doctor Doom, and he was one of the most produced figures in that line, whether he came in 2-packs or in special packs with a vehicle. So yeah, this is the Tower of Doom. This is Doctor Doom's base, and the base for all the villains in the Secret Wars toy line. It is so big that I can't fit it all in frame right now, so we will be moving up and down. But like I was saying, this is my favorite toy line of all time. And this is a really nice sample of the Tower of Doom. I've actually have a few of them. I still have my childhood one that, was also shared by my brothers. And I have 2 other ones. Actually, when I bought this one, I got another one with it that is incomplete. This is a fully complete Tower of Doom. And I just wanted to, look at it and show it off. It's in really good condition. I had to dust it off a little, but otherwise it looks pretty good. When I bought it, I did get a number of Secret Wars figures, including this Doctor Doom. And I think this is the nicest Doctor Doom that I have. The paintwork on the belt is still there. All this detailing on his chest is still there. His legs are a little bowed in, but a little heat can fix that. But yeah, I think this is my nicest Doom, so I'm going to be very, very careful with him. But I'll have him out for the rest of the review. To start with the Tower of Doom, we do have a gun turret up here, and the nice thing is the gun turret does come off. So if you ever just wanted to have like a standalone turret, you have that option. And just to bring it in and show you it, there's some very nice detailing decals in here. And, the decals are from the 80s, but these are still on. They are showing their age a little bit, but they're still there. They still look good. And this is just a gunner position tower. It has these guns on the side, as you can see, and they do allow for movement. They can move up and down. So great if you need them to combat the turbo copter, the Captain America themed helicopter. You might notice that there is a switch here on the front, and that is actually for this seat. I think it's a play feature where if you press this switch, the seat is supposed to fall back. This was a little stuck, but oh yeah, this one actually, is it pushed in more? I don't want to break this, but yeah, the seat is supposed to just fall back. This particular one, the peg on the seat isn't clearing the switch, and putting it back in, that might break it, so I'm not going to keep doing that. But yeah, it was a play feature where if you hit it, the person in the gunner tower, the gunner spot, would fall out. The front is a separate piece. As you can see, it's starting to come apart, but just a little bit of force, a little bit of pressure, it does fall back together, or fit back together. This one, I might have to press on it a little harder because it seems to be separating, which might also be causing some of that chair, trouble there. But honestly, this still looks really good, even with it a little separate. This still looks good. And because it's on this round piece, there is a hole that it fits on, you do have the ability to rotate this as well. So you can have your gunner sitting in here. In this case, if I want to put Doctor Doom in here, you simply just fold his legs, seat him in it, and now Doctor Doom is in the gunner position. I always, as a kid, I played with this Doom Tower, my Doom Tower, a lot. And, it fit the old Toy Biz Marvel figures, the, pre-Marvel Legends 5-inch figures very well. Even a little better, like a 5-inch figure fit very well in this spot. So this used to be kind of like a command center, or, like a someone who's taking action in charge of, defense of the Doom Tower, or the villain's lair. So I'm going to take Doom out. Moving on down the tower, you can see this middle part here, and I'm going to lower the camera a little bit so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. There is this middle part, and this middle section has some very nice detailing in the front. We see these little like grooves and stuff, and it's not necessarily there for any other reason than, you know, it's part of the base. But the neat thing about this part of the base is there's a couple cool features here. I'm going to rotate it. First off, here there is a door, so you can open this door and you can have characters pop in and out. It is about the size of a character, so if you wanted to actually have them pop in and out, they slide through it very nicely. They are a little taller than the actual doorway, but it's because they would actually step down into this control center, and you can see, you know, here's where the figure would come in. They step down. Figure stands pretty nicely, and as you can see, Dr. Doom's kind of hitting his head. And where I said that the old Toy Biz 5-inch figures would fit well in the gunner seats, they didn't fit too well in this part. They'd kind of have to crouch down or sit down. But this is a cool, you know, another section of the Doom Tower that has some neat decals inside of it. You can see, you know, I don't know what this is supposed to be, an intercom or something, some type of energy feed, something targeting a building. It is very nice, and it's nicely detailed even on the inside. And then just, you know, going around to over here, we have details all inlaid in the spots here. It looks very nice. Spinning around, we do have more detail on this side, so while there isn't another door leading to nowhere, we do have just more detail. And just to bring it back out or look at the front again, you might notice these gaps. And while I've never gotten official confirmation on this, I have seen people say that you can use a Secret Wars secret shield, and you can store the shields on this part by just kind of pulling the clip out a little bit and hooking that in. And they do sit there. They ride a little high. You know, you can kind of put them over these details, but you know, it's something that I've seen people said it's supposed to be there for that. I don't know if that's 100% sure. I don't have the original Secret Wars toy booklet, the instruction booklet, so I don't know how true that is. But like I said, there is a platform here, and if you noticed before, there's a bit of a track. Well, there is an elevator on the Tower of Doom that does come up, and this elevator can pop out. There's some very cool details here. There's even a piece for a character to hold, so I could put Dr. Doom on the elevator and have him hold this control handle like he is controlling the elevator. There's also detail on this side, which would be flush against the building. So I used to treat this as a separate like hoverboard that could come out, and if a character had a laser that could fire lasers from their hands, this would be a separate vehicle as well. There's even some cool detailing on the bottom, so maybe it is like a jet-powered elevator. I used to use that a lot and have some fun with that. I think it is a neat feature. But, you know, just cool to have this elevator piece on here. I think it's something different, something you didn't always see on play sets. Maybe in the 80s you saw it more. But let's move all the way down to the bottom of the Doom Tower now, because the bottom, I think, has some of the more interesting things. So, first on the bottom, you can see this door, and there is a little nub right here. This is to open and close the jail cell. Yes, this is supposed to be a jail cell for characters, so you can see when it opens, it has some, it kind of just looks like a wall, but when you let go, now you see these cool sticker details, this, you know, this tech detail, and it does serve as a prison. And hey, we can throw Spider-Man in the prison if we want. You just close him in, and there we go. Now Spider-Man is in the jail cell. You can probably see through on the other side. There is a door. I'll show you that as well. But yeah, this is a cool feature of the playset. You know, I feel like all good playsets from the 80s, many good playsets from the 80s, had jail cells. You know, there is a hero base from the Secret Wars toy line. It was the Freedom Tower. Little boring compared to this. It didn't have a jail cell. Maybe I'll break out my old Freedom Tower and we'll take a look at that eventually. But still a really neat, this one is just really neat. I will take Spider-Man out because we are going to rotate around. First to the side that the elevator is on, and you can see again these decals, these like tech decals showing off the the tower, and just really cool inlaid parts on this. It's just a really cool thing. Spinning it around to the back, like I said, here is that jail cell door. We have more details, and this piece here can open up, and you have like a little drawer. This would be a spot that I think I would store smaller weapons. And the nice thing about this is kind of an all-in-one playset. You could, in theory, just take this with you, store some weapons, stick some guys inside, and, you know, take it off to your grandparents' house, wherever you're going to go that day. And which I did often. This was really cool for that. You might notice this hanging chair, too, that moves along on a slide. It does slide. And it is a similar chair to what is up here at the top of the tower. But this one hooks into this piece at the top. It can slide in and out, as you can see. And I'm going to take it off the arm so you can see the... Or take it off the tower so you can see the arm here. So it is just that. It can slide in and out. You have this chair hanging. You have guns on here as well. So I don't know what exactly this would be. Maybe they want to torture the prisoner by firing like tasers at him. Maybe this is just, you know, another defense of the Tower of Doom. You can have your character, again, your action figure, sit on this chair, and because it's hanging, it kind of does give them the look that they are floating or hanging. I do want to focus real quick on this area, because this area is like another command spot, and there's a ton of decals, a ton of detail in here, which I think looks really cool. You know, the 80s were such a cool time for playsets. You got these really detailed playsets with really neat features, and this one definitely has it. I'm going to just try to move it around a little bit. So yeah, like, look at all that sticker work. And I believe these were pre-applied. I don't think anyone had to stick these decals on themselves. I could be wrong about that, but they just look so good, even to this day. You know, here we are 40 years later, and this still looks really good. I used to use this command platform as like a communications area when I would play with the Secret Wars figures. But just spinning it around again, we have these really cool details on the side. And, you know, there we go. This is just such a cool piece. And I do want to do a quick comparison. So, you know, we do have Dr. Doom, and I had Spider-Man out before. And you can see, like, for a 4-inch scale, this looks really good. Like, this is a huge tower compared to them. Like, it would take 3 or 4 Dr. Dooms, you know, to stack up to get to the top of this tower. And I said it even looked okay with the 5-inch Marvel Legends figures. With the 5-inch old Toy Biz pre-Marvel Legends figures. Marvel Legends, however, don't look as great for this one. As you can see, first off, there's a huge size difference between the figures. But a Marvel Legends figure wouldn't necessarily look good on this. First off, they'd have to crawl into that jail cell. If you wanted them in that secondary room, they are already... let me move the camera up for that secondary level. But you can see once I get up here, especially with this Daredevil, he is already taller than that room. He's almost to the top of the tower itself. So wouldn't look so good, and he's definitely not going to fit in here. So, you know, there is that to remember, that, you know, this isn't going to scale well with your Marvel Legends. Even if you wanted it as like a background piece, I think it would look a little ridiculous based on just, you know, how big a Marvel Legends figure is compared to this tower. You know, still a cool thing, but nothing I'm going to put with my actual Marvel Legends. So this was just kind of a fun look at the Tower of Doom. Just another video I wanted to put out. I've been meaning to talk about this one for quite some time. It's just a fun toy. You know, like I said in a recent Superpowers, you know, retro Superpowers review, this takes me back to a time when toys were simple. Could they be collectibles? Yes, but they were definitely meant to be played with and to just have some fun with. And this is what this playset reminds me of. It was just fun. You know, we weren't thinking too hard about it. The funny thing is, though, I was thinking about how much I would love to have a playset for a 6-inch Marvel Legends figure. And what occurred to me is that I have a 3D printer, and, you know, I'm not bad with math. Like, in theory, I could take this tower and possibly scale it to a 6-inch size, make it a little wider, make it a little taller, make it so that some Marvel Legends characters could fit. And I'm debating doing that, you know, and seeing if I can pull that off. At the end of the day, these are just kind of basic shapes. It might be something that I try to do. I've seen some really cool customs online of the Doom Tower as well, where people have added additional levels by chopping up pieces of Doom Towers and putting them together. It could be something that I want to try as well. So let me know, have you ever had a Secret Wars Tower of Doom. Have you ever, do you have a favorite 80s playset? This might not rank among people's favorite playset from the 80s, but it's definitely one of the top 5 for me, I can tell you that. I would love to hear your ideas down in the comments below. Share them. I'd love to know what you think. And remember to check out the Rock Nerd Radio Show podcast. It is a weekly podcast hosted by me and my good friend and co-host Vinny. We talk about all areas of pop culture on there. There's bound to be something that you dig. So sound off once again in the comments below. Let me know what you think of the Tower of Doom. And until next time, I've been Dan. You've been pretty awesome. I'll see you around.